ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। सृजामि तपसैवेदं ग्रसामि तपसा पुनः बिभर्मि तपसा विश्वं वीर्यं मे दुश्चरं तपः।
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy, and I withdraw it all by the same energy. Therefore, the potency is penance only.
ब्रह्मोवाच भगवन् सर्वभूतानां अध्यक्षोऽवस्थितो गुहां वेद ह्यपरिरुद्धेन प्रज्ञानेन चिकीर्षितम्।
Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all the endeavors by your superior intelligence without any hindrance whatsoever.
तथापि नाथमानस्य नाथ नाथाय नाथितं परावरे यथा रूपे जानीयां ते त्वरूपिणः।
In spite of that, my Lord, I'm praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all.
यथात्मा मायायोगेन नानाशक्त्युपबृंहितं विलुम्पन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् बिभ्रद् आत्मानमात्मना।
And please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for inhalation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation.
क्रीडस्य मोघसङ्कल्प ऊर्णन्नाभिर्यथोर्नुते तथा तद्विषयां धेहि मनीषां मयि माधव।
O Master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible.
भगवच्चिक्षितम् अहं करवाणि ह्यतन्द्रितः नेहमानः प्रजासर्गं बध्येयं यद् अनुग्रहात्।
Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter by the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities.
यावत् सखा सख्युरिवेशते कृतः प्रजाविसर्गे विभजामि भोजनम् अविक्लवस्ते परिकर्मणि स्थितो मामे समुन्नद्धमदोज मानिनः।
O my Lord, the unborn, you have shaken hands with me just as a friend does with a friend, as if equal in position. I shall be engaged in the creation of different types of living entity, and I shall be occupied in your service. I shall have no perturbation, but I pray that all this may not give rise to pride, as if I were the supreme.
श्रीभगवानुवाच ज्ञानं परमगुह्यं मे यद्विज्ञानसमन्वितं सरहस्यं तदङ्गं च गृहाण गदितं मया।
The personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential, and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully.
यावानहं यथा भावो यद्रूपगुणकर्मकः तथैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु ते मद् अनुग्रहात्।
All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities, and activities, let all be awakened within you by effectual realization out of my causeless mercy.
अहमेवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद्यत्सदसत्परम् पश्चादहं यदेतच्च यो वशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहम्।
Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material's nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead.
ऋते अर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः।
O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusionary energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness.
यथा महन्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनो प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहम्।
O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and at the same time, I am outside of everything.
एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वयाव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा।
A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly.
एतन्मतं समातिष्ठ परमेण समाधिना भवान् कल्पविकल्पेषु न मुह्यति कर्हिचित्।
O Brahma, just follow this conclusion by fixed concentration of mind, and no pride will disturb you, neither in the partial nor in the final devastation.
श्रीशुक उवाच सम्प्रदिश्यैवम् अजनो जनानां परमेष्ठिनं पश्यतस्तस्य तत् रूपम् आत्मनो न्यरुणद्धरिः।
Sukta Goswami said to Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, after being seen in his transcendental form, instructing Brahmaji, the leader of the living entities, disappeared.
अन्तर्हितेन्द्रियार्थाय हरये विहिताञ्जलिः सर्वभूतमयो विश्वं ससर्जेदं स पूर्ववत्।
On the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who is the object of transcendental enjoyment for the senses of devotees, Brahma, with folded hands, began to recreate the universe, full with living entities as it was previously.
प्रजापतिर्धर्मपतिरेकदा नियमान् भद्रं प्रजानाम् अन्विच्छन् आतिष्ठत् स्वार्थकाम्यया।
Thus, once upon a time, the forefather of living entities and the father of religiousness, Lord Brahma, situated himself in acts of regulative principles. desiring self-interest for the welfare of all living entities.
तं नारदः प्रियतमो रिक्तादानामनुव्रतः शुश्रूषमाणः शीलेन प्रश्रयेण दमेन च.
Narad, the most dear of the inherited sons of Brahma, always ready to serve his father, strictly follows the instructions of his father by his mannerly behavior, meekness, and sense control.
मायां विविदिशन् विष्णोर्मायेशस्य महामुनिः महाभागवतो राजन् पितरं पर्यतोषयत्.
Narad very much pleased his father and desired to know all about the energies of Vishnu, the master of all energies. For Narad was the greatest of all sages and greatest of all devotees, O king.
तुष्टं निशाम्य पितरं लोकानां प्रपीतामहं देवर्षिर्परिपप्रच्छा भवान् यन्मानुपृच्छति.
The great sage Narad also inquired in detail from his father, Brahma, the great-grandfather of all the universe, after seeing him well satisfied.
तस्माइदं भागवतं पुराणं दशलक्षणं प्रोक्तं भगवता प्राह पृतपुत्राय भूतकृत्.
Thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the father, Brahma, to his son, Narad.
नारद प्राह मुनये सरस्वत्यास्तटे नृप ध्यायते ब्रह्म परमं व्यासायामीत तेजसे.
In succession, O king, the great sage Narad instructed Srimad Bhagavatam unto the unlimitedly powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, on the bank of the river Saraswati.
यद् उताहं त्वया पृष्टो वैराजात् पुरुषादिदं यथासीत् तत् उपाख्यास्ते प्रश्नान् अन्यांश्च कृत्स्नशः.
O king, your questions as to how the universe became manifested from the gigantic form of the personality of Godhead, as well as other questions, I shall answer in detail by explanation of the 4 verses already mentioned. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity. Please
Thank
forgive
you.
mistakes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the beautiful recitations, Yashvini Mataji and Divya Garangi Mataji. I'm just looking at the participants list and I can't see Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji's name. I don't think he has joined yet. So while waiting for Prabhuji to join us, I'll recite the Mangala Charan prayer. You can all recite with me behind muted mics. Thank you. ॐ ज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji hasn't joined us yet. Oh, Prabhuji has just joined. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I just walked in through the door and I'm coming straight to class. So
Okay. So I've just recited the
I do
Mangalacharan prayer.
not even have tilak, so please bear with me.
Okay. So we'll just say the Maha Mantra while Prabhuji is getting ready to join us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
So Mataji, who was sharing the verses screen? Are they still around?
Yes, Jyoti Mataji was sharing the verses. She's still with
Jyoti
us.
Mataji is still here. Can she share the verse itself? So we're doing verse 36 today, I understand. All right, just bear with me. I am trying to. Second canto, chapter 9, text number 36. Okay, you've already said the Mangalacharanam prayers, haven't you, Mataji?
That's right, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. Apologies for being late. Somehow or the other, we've got a beautiful verse to discuss today. It's the fourth verse of the Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam. So over the last few days, or last few sessions at least, you would have been discussing the four Chatur Shloki verses. So to date, maybe someone could share to our group today, why are these four verses considered to be Chatur Shloki? Chatur means Chatur Shloki means the entire Bhagavatam in four verses. So entire Bhagavatam in four verses. So why is this series of verses deemed to be the entire Bhagavatam in four verses? Can someone share your realization and understanding so far? Anyone? Okay. Maybe I'll just quickly recap. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us that the entire Krishna conscious philosophy, or the entire philosophy of the Bhagavatam, can be contained in 3 principles. And those principles are Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayoja. These are the principal areas of understanding for Krishna conscious philosophy. The Sambandha, we understand, is to mean relationship. Videya is process, and Prayojan is the goal. So this Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, verse number 33, so Chaturshloki the verses are 33, 34, 35, and 36. So we've been studying. Text number 33 is the most secret of all knowledge of my form. That is summarized by our acharyas. That text number 33 is saying the most secret knowledge of the Lord's form. So that is Sambandha. Then text number 34, which is Chatusloki number 2, that is summarized by the realization of that form, which is process. And text number 3 of the Chatusloki, which is text number 35, that is Prema Bhakti. And the last is Tad Angam is Sadhana Bhakti. So this is the verse we're doing today, text number 36. I guess we'll discuss it further as we go along. Etavadeva jignasyam tadva jignasuna panaha anvaya vyatire abhyam yatsyat sarvatra sarvadha. Word for word synonyms. Etavad, up to this. Eva, certainly. Jignasyam is to be inquired. Tattva, the absolute truth. Jignasuna, by the student. Atmana, of the self. Anvaya, directly. Vyatirek, abhyam, indirectly. Yat, whatever. Syat, it may be. Sarvatra, in all space and time. Sarvada, in all circumstances. So translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. Purport. Jyoti Mataji, can you move the screen up a bit so everyone can read the purport? Thank you. To unfold the mystery of Bhakti Yoga, as it is explained in the previous verse explains, Prema Bhakti, is the ultimate stage of all inquiries, or the highest object for the inquisitive. So the highest object for the inquisitive is Prema Bhakti. Everyone is searching after self-realization in different ways. By Karma Yoga, by Jnana Yoga, by Dhyana Yoga, by Raja Yoga, by Bhakti Yoga, etc. To engage in self-realization is the responsibility of every living entity developed in consciousness, meaning the human beings. One who is developed in consciousness certainly makes inquiries into the mystery of the self, the cosmic situation, and of the problems in life, in all spheres and fields, social, political, economical, cultural, religious, moral, etc. And in their different branches. But here, the goal of all such inquiries is explained. So we always start off with the end in mind, the goal. The Vedanta Sutra philosophy begins with this inquiry about life, and the Bhagavatam answers such inquiries up to this point, or the mystery of all inquiries. Lord Brahma wanted to be perfectly educated by the personality of Godhead, and here is the answer by the Lord, finished in 4 nutshell verses. From Aham Eva to this verse, Etabat Eva. This is the end of all self-realization processes. Men do not know that the ultimate goal of life is Vishnu, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to being bewildered by the glaring reflection in the darkness. And as such, everyone is entering into the darkest region of material existence, driven by the uncontrolled senses. The whole material existence is sprung up because of sense gratification, desires based principally on the sex desire. And the result is that in spite of all advancement of knowledge, the final goal of all the activities of the living entities is sense gratification. But here is the real goal of life, and everyone should know it by inquiries put before a bona fide spiritual master, expert in the science of Bhakti Yoga, or from a living personality of the Bhagavatam life. Everyone is engaged in various kinds of scriptural inquiries, but the Srimad Bhagavatam gives answers to all of the various students of self-realization. This ultimate objective of life is not to be searched out without great labor or perseverance. One who is imbued with such sincere inquiries must ask the bona fide spiritual master in the disciplic succession from Brahmaji, and that is the direction given here. Mataji, just remind me, are we covering the entire purport today or just part of the purport? No, I think I'm just
Hare
trying to
Krishna,
recall.
Prabhuji. So there is 36A and 36B. But I don't know
So
where
that is,
it ends. I
wait,
don't know where
just
you
give me a
it.
minute. Mataji, she messaged me, and I think where I stopped now is where we are meant to be stopping.
Okay.
Let me just check.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Beginning of the purport, ending, born in, till the end of page 504. Ending a paragraph, born in sinful conditions. So where does it ending, born in sinful conditions ends? 1, 2, 5, 6. Is Rasalila Srimati here on the call? Because she dropped me a message. All it says here, end of page 504, ending paragraph, born in sinful conditions. Anyway, I will pause here because I've been reading quite a bit. It's worth discussing. So, a couple of salient points here. So this verse is about bhakti. The person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this, in all circumstances, in all space and all time, and both directly and indirectly. So the process, one may ask the question, how is this linked to sadhana bhakti? We said Chatusloki number 4 is all about sadhana bhakti. The connection or the reason is that searching for the absolute truth, one must perform sadhana, just like in our situation. We are searching for what? We are searching for pure bhakti, pure unalloyed devotion, prema bhakti. To get to this prema bhakti, we have to perform sadhana. We have to perform sadhana. So this verse is saying, one who is searching for the absolute truth must certainly search for it up to this, in all of space and all of time. Now, there is in the Bhagavad Subodhini a nice explanation of this verse, and I just want to quickly see if I can refer to this. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is making reference to the Vedanta Sutra. The very first aphorism for Vedanta Sutra is Tato Brahma Jignasa, that now that I've got the human form of life, let me inquire into the absolute truth. So, in one sense, we know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. And the Vedanta Sutra starts off with Tato Brahma Jignasa. So from that sense, this verse of the Bhagavatam, Chatushloti Bhagavatam, is giving us the same conclusion as the Vedanta Sutra. I'm just trying to find this and I can't. Just bear. Okay. So this verse, some explanations given by our Acharya. So they break up the verse into different parts. The first part of this verse is Tattva Jignas Suno Atmanaha. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth. Etavad eva jignasyam must certainly search for it to this. Anvaya vyatirekyabhyam, which is determined as the best of obtaining positive results to performance. So Srila Jiva Goswami, these are some commentaries from the Acharyas, he explains that this word tad angam, which is explaining sadhana bhakti, is the necessary paraphernalia or means by which one may attain the confidential goal, rahasyam. The goal is explained in the previous verse, and I'm not sure if the previous speaker explained this point about rahasyam. The means is sadhana bhakti. So Srila Jiva Goswami is explaining, the goal is explained in this previous verse, and the means is being explained in this verse. Therefore, it's sadhana bhakti. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter number 25, verse 122, he explains, or he comments, that is the duty of every person to inquire and hear about the process of bhakti. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a commentary, and it's called Sri Bhajan Rahasya. And he explains or mentions that this verse explains the circumstances favorable for bhakti. He explains that there are two ways for becoming free of anarthas: directly by following the rules, and indirectly by following the restrictions. So we know what is the definition of sadhana bhakti. The definition of sadhana bhakti is to practice the rules and regulations as enjoined by the Shastras and the spiritual master. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining that, that this verse is explaining the circumstances is favorable for bhakti. So in conclusion of the Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam, our acharyas explain that the Chatur Shloki is the original 4 verses spoken by Lord himself. It was later expanded by Sri Narad Muni and then by Srila Vyasadeva. Also, the essence of our philosophy finds its root in the 3 tattvas as mentioned above. It is wonderful how the acharyas have presented a correlation between these 2 categories, thus further substantiating that Bhagavatam is truly the final word in scriptural science. Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. This adds further to the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam being an ocean of limitless transcendence. So, those people that have reservations about accepting the Srimad Bhagavatam as the ultimate scripture, they will have no argument when they come across these 4 verses in the Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam. Why? Because we all know that the Vedas means knowledge, was first spoken by the Lord to Brahma. And from Brahma, it was passed down. So the original Vedas, they contain the essence of these 4 verses. And these 4 verses that are now featured in Srimad Bhagavatam is containing the essence of the Vedas. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary of of Vedanta Sutra, which is the Veda Vyasa's, Srila Veda Vyasa's explanation of the entire Vedas and Sutras. So this is some of the conclusions by our acharyas, and these are some of the meanings. It's actually 4 verses that take a lot of explanation and understanding to go through. What we are trying to do here within half an hour won't really do us justice. So maybe I'll pause here and take any questions or comments. I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer all of them, but we shall try. And just a point before we take any comments is verses 39 to 46, which are gonna follow, also are very, very interesting. It is said that the Chatur Shloki is further expanded in Parampara. So these verses, nutshell, when you try to encapsulate all understanding in 4 verses, it naturally leads us to the point where these verses have to be expanded. They have to be explained. Each word has to be explained. And the following verse is explaining that we can get the understanding of these 4 verses through Parampara. Okay, any questions or comments? Yeah. But for our understanding, if we can, like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met the Mayavadis in Benares, they accused Mahaprabhu of being a sentimentalist. And, they requested him, why doesn't he stop this dancing and chanting, and why doesn't he study Vedanta Sutra? Then Mahaprabhu explained to the Mayavadis what is Vedanta Sutra, what is the essence of Vedanta Sutra. And then Mahaprabhu explained to them that the essence of Vedanta Sutra is these principles of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. And he explained to the Mayavadis that if you don't know the goal, and you don't know the process of achieving the goal, and you do not know the relationship with the goal, everything is useless. Then Mahaprabhu explained to them that he actually understands the entire Vedanta Sutra. He understands the essence of Vedanta Sutra, but he does not see the Mayavadis practicing it, because as we've seen here, verse 35 of the Chaturshloki, the goal is Prema Bhakti. And the process is that verse 36, Sadhana Bhakti. That the Mayavadis, they didn't know that. They were accusing Mahaprabhu of not understanding Vedanta Sutra, but yet they, who claim to have understood Vedanta Sutra, had no idea of the goal. So how can one claim to have understood any subject matter without understanding the goal? So, very simply put, dear devotees, if we can understand these 4 verses in terms of these prime teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan, then we would understand the essence of these verses. The goal is Prema Bhakti, the process is Sadhana Bhakti, and the relationship with Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments? Okay. I hope I didn't confuse you. At least part of the meaning is there. And as we know from our own philosophy, Srila Prabhupada said, Yasya deve parabhakti, yata deve tata guru, tasyaiti iti katita, prakashante mahatmanaha. Prabhupada said this is the most important verse of all of the Shastras from the Katha Upanishad, that only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge revealed. So even if we do not have a deep and understanding of these 4 verses, as we gradually deepen in our bhakti, in our Krishna consciousness, all of the understanding, all of the meaning of all of these words will be revealed to us from within the heart by the Lord. We just have to continue our Krishna consciousness with implicit faith in Guru and the Lord and the words of the Lord, and gradually everything will be revealed to us. Thank you very much. All glories to your service. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanande.
Jai Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Thank you very
Prabhuji.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.